Yeah, I can go first. Hey everybody, I'm Nate Harper. I'm in sales and marketing at ProLift. I'm based out of our Memphis office, which is kind of our service center location. We have a bunch of locations, which we'll get into, but I've been with ProLift for about 2.5 years. Started straight out of college, moved from Columbus, Ohio to Memphis, Tennessee. Go Buckeyes! But yeah, excited to be here with you guys and share a little bit more about some of the opportunities we have here and what we do.
Thanks, Nate. Hey, everybody. I'm Robert Visenko. I'm based out of our Lynchburg branch. I'm the branch manager there. I started out in engineering. I've been with the company for about 3.5 years. And like Nate said, happy to share some information and some opportunities with the company and our experiences, and hopefully answer some questions that you all might have about it. Okay, so here's our PowerPoint. Basically, I'm going to go through ProLift as a company, who we are, a little bit of our history, what we do, and then Nate is going to explain some opportunities to work with us, and like I said, grow with the company, specifically through our HRT Heavy Rigging Trainee program. And then at the end, we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about ProLift in general or any opportunities to work with us. So who's ProLift? So we are a full service rigging and transport organization. We take pride and emphasis on providing value added solutions to our customers. We have a national presence. We have branches across the nation, and we do work everywhere in between. We specialize in the data center industry, oil and gas industry, and a variety of industrial projects, so industrial maintenance, capitalization projects, and so on and so forth. We are a younger company, but we are growing rapidly. We have, our leadership team is very focused on, steady and rapid growth, acquiring different rigging services across the country and starting up our own branches at a variety of locations across the country. So here are some, if you want to go to the next slide there, Nate, some of our locations here. Like I said, pretty spread out across the United States. However, we do work everywhere in between there. Our industry does require a good bit of travel, so a lot of opportunity to see some cool places, anywhere from Virginia to California to Washington State, Washington, D.C. to Washington State. So we're in Lynchburg, Leesburg, Virginia, Charleston, South Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona, Riverside, California, Dallas, Texas, Odessa, Texas, Dickinson, North Dakota, Plattsville, Colorado, and Memphis, Tennessee. So what we do, we're focused on complex lifting and rigging jobs. So our customers will come to us with their most challenging jobs. And we, like I said, we put an emphasis on coming up with solutions that best fit our customers' constraints, whether that's something that can do it quicker or it's a space constraint in a real tight area. You can't get a big piece of equipment in there, so you have to get creative. The top right picture is a good example of that. Removing an OD fan, using gantries and a hydraulic line trailer. So we were working in a really tight area there, removing a pretty heavy piece of equipment. We also do logistics and logistics management. So that's trucking, usually bigger gear, but we do anywhere in between, from the manufacturer to our warehousing, or from a manufacturer directly to site, from our warehouse to sites, controlling that and, tracking what's going when, working with our customers and providing a optimal and smooth service for them. Again, the logistics hits on transportation. We do heavy transportation, heavy haul. We do a lot of crane work. We do have a pretty decent sized crane fleet within the company. And storage solutions, we have warehouses located across the country that we will store customers gear in. You'll bring it from the manufacturer, offload it, store it, and then when they're ready for it to be set on site, we'll take it out of the warehouse, haul it, and set it on site using either a crane or some kind of alternate rigging solution. We have an engineering team puts together lift plans. We can build custom rigging pieces that can give us an edge up on our competitors that they might not have the capability to build something custom that is unique to that job. And then, we do, as you saw before, we're involved in a lot of different industries. So basically we're helping build the infrastructure to keep America going.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that. That was a great overview, a little bit about what we do. And I'm sure there are some terms in there that you guys heard that you might have no idea what they mean. And that's okay. I'll get into that. When I started, I didn't know hardly any of the words Robert just shared. So no worries there. But I want to talk about our Heavy Rigging Trainee program, explain what it is, kind of why we developed it, and then how you can get involved and what that would look like if you got involved in this program. So our Heavy Rigging Trainee program is a structured kind of plan and path for your career growth within ProLift. It's a 2-year training program, and in those 2 years, you'll get exposure to lots of different areas of the business, which again, I'll get into here shortly. And you'll see some cool industries that we work in, like the data center industry, which you saw a few videos of. Really cool kind of things that you might not know people are doing. There are a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't realize. Someone had to pick up that big thing and put it there, which we're involved in. So you'll get exposure to that. And within this program, you'll get paired up with a mentor to help you along your kind of 2-year training program and path. Somebody that's done everything you're going to be learning, knows all that stuff, and cares about your success and wants you to grow and learn, to keep moving forward. And ultimately, this is just a plan for your personal and professional growth, and specifically some launching points within ProLift to new opportunities and jobs at ProLift. So why does this program exist? Why did we create this? Really, for 2 main reasons. One, we know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what do I do next? My whole life has been planned out for me, go to elementary school, middle school, high school, maybe college. What do I do next after kind of those structured plans are done? We know it's kind of confusing. We know you guys are probably very capable and want to do great in your career, but you don't know where to start or where to go or what that career looks like. And so this program is designed to help people figure out what they're good at and where they want to go, and put them on a path towards success and career advancement. And also, we have amazing leaders in our company for today, but we need great leaders for tomorrow. So that's what this is designed for. We want to build up the next generation of leaders for ProLift, launch them into these leadership opportunities and roles, and kind of help develop them. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the leaders of tomorrow for ProLift. So what does this look like for you? What's included? So this is a full-time job. You'll be getting paid a competitive salary and wage. There's tons of travel opportunities, as Robert mentioned, traveling across the country, seeing new areas, going to different branches. We go to a lot of cool areas of the country. There's healthcare benefits, paid time off. I already mentioned the mentoring and again, the growth opportunities, which I'll get into a little more detail here shortly. But that's some of the stuff that's included if you, apply and come on board with this program. And so these are the areas you can grow into. These are kind of some of the job opportunities you'd have post the 2-year training program, which include project management, sales. You can kind of stay in the field and go to crane operation or field leadership. You can move to operations and even branch management. So tons of areas of this business that involve a lot of field work and blue collar work and some that don't. And you'll get exposure to all these areas and see what you're good at, what you want to do. And we can help launch you into that area. So I mentioned this path for your growth, and this is what that looks like. So, 1 through 6, kind of over a 2-year period, you start by coming on board, doing orientation, meeting your mentor, getting to know your mentor. Next, you move straight into field work and on-site training. So you're going to learn some of the basics of a very valuable, skillful trade that a lot of people don't know about and don't know details on. And it's a valuable skill. And you'll get your hands dirty and you'll get in the field and learn a lot. Then you'll move into operations and dispatch training. So you're learning how to kind of manage this moving big puzzle and dispatch, sending people to certain jobs and who gets put on what job. And then you'll move to project management training, which is really cool. You get to be a part of managing a project, owning the project. You're kind of the boss of the project, which is really cool. So you'll get exposure to that. And then you'll move to sales training, learning how we sell our services. It's unique. It's not typical sales that you might think about. These are long sales cycles and lots of relationship building involved and cool exposure to that area. And then as you've been doing all those different areas of training, you'll start to learn what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you like, what you don't like. Your mentor will help you figure out where your strengths are. And then from there, you'll be promoted to and hired on to one of those areas of growth opportunity that we mentioned earlier. And then, that could be at the Lynchburg branch if you start there, or you could even get hired on in Phoenix, Arizona, if you want to go to Phoenix, Arizona, or wherever. There's lots of kind of pathways for you here outside of just the job responsibilities or roles, along with the geographic area that you can move to. And what's kind of needed from you? What are we looking for? We're looking for someone that's willing to work hard, solid work ethic, a positive attitude, someone that's really curious to learn and improve, that wants to understand what we do and get better at it. And then a desire for career growth, to start a career and grow within that career. So that's kind of what we're looking for in someone that's coming on for this Heavy Rigging Trainee program. Just to give a little insight of who we want to come on board. And then how to join quickly, we'll have questions here shortly. There's a job posting on Queued In. We have job postings on our website. There's our phone number as well if you want to get in touch with us. And so, yeah, that's how you can join and apply for the Heavy Rigging Trainee program. And that's it for the presentation. Thanks so much.
Are there any opportunities for somebody maybe under the age of 18, if they're looking to get into this industry, kind of looking to understand a little bit more? Are there any opportunities there at ProLift Rigging?
Yeah, we've had summer helpers. Even if you are in school and looking for a summer job, we've had people come by and work for a summer or so. Even around the shop or out in the field, we always it is a good opportunity to get familiar with what we do. And then we've had those people come back once they graduate high school, or if they move on to community college or trade school, and then come back when they finish school. It's just a good transition program.
That's awesome. And I take it these are paid, so they can work over the summer with these paid positions.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And this this could kind of be a pre-HRT training thing. Like this is kind of before where they can just understand what you guys are doing and everything.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
awesome. Now, do you guys require overtime from your employees?
Yes, I won't say require. It's usually what the job requires. Oftentimes, as we mentioned throughout the presentation, it will involve travel. And with that travel, you're working good hours, and you are getting paid for your overtime. So guys will love the word overtime, because that means you're making more money, you're being compensated for it. And I would say most of the time when you are out on a job, it will be, possibly 10 to 12 hour shifts. But it is a good paying opportunity.
Awesome. Another question that came in is for employees there in Lynchburg, how far do they have to travel for job sites? Where do you guys typically go?
It could be a wide range. We do a lot of work, a lot of local work for local companies around the Lynchburg area, and outside of Lynchburg a little bit. But we do work all over the country. Like I said, it wouldn't be guaranteed to send you across the country, but it could be up in Northern Virginia. So about 3 hours away. Sometimes, down in Danville. So it could be a couple hours away. Or it could be, if you're on a long-term project, could be, we're doing some work down in Georgia. So it could be all the way down there. So it is a wide range. On average, it could be, 2 to 3 hours. But you would be, staying out of town, or it could be, 10 minutes down the road.
Okay, awesome. So another question is, would the HRT experience be primarily in the local office for the 2 years, aside from the occasional travel?
Yeah. So you would typically, you'd be hired on. We hire heavy rigging trainees at each branch location. So if you're hired on out of the Lynchburg branch, you'll be a Lynchburg employee. Sometimes you'll get put on a job where you'll be sent to Northern Virginia, stay in a hotel for a week or 2 weeks, and then come home. But you'll be a Lynchburg employee. So you'll be reporting to that office each morning and then going out to a job site or whatever the case may be. And then from there, there's opportunity to stay with the Lynchburg team and move to one of those positions we mentioned, or get hired on to a different location. Primarily you'll be based out of the Lynchburg office, unless you're put on a job site that's out of town for that travel.
So you could do some of the HRT training and all that on another job site too, as well, or another location.
Yeah, and sometimes that's part of the training program, to get you exposure to new jobs and new opportunities, because the Lynchburg team does a whole lot of stuff, but sometimes you can't get exposure to the cool data centers in Lynchburg. You might need to go to a job elsewhere. So we try to give people exposure to other things, and sometimes it's not in Lynchburg and sometimes it is. So
okay, awesome. Another question is, around how much an hour would you make during the summer job if you're a high school student? And then what does that HRT kind of make roughly an hour?
Yeah. I'll give a range, because it all depends on what your experience and what you bring coming into it. Summer help is usually, in that probably 12 to, 13, 14 an hour. And then, coming on as a HRT would be around, 15 and above. Like I said, if you have some experience coming into it, it could be potential to be a greater start, depending on your experience. But we do, there is opportunity to move up. You kind of progressively, we like to, I'm a big fan of, you do well, the company will treat you well. And I've definitely seen that with guys firsthand, and, you get in what you put out, and we're firm believers in that.
Wow.
And I want to touch on one thing on the experience there too. It is not required to have experience in this field to join the HRT program. I want to make sure that's clear. That's great. We have a lot of people in our program that have zero experience. They come on and know nothing, and that's not a problem. The whole idea is to teach you what you need to know to be successful. So don't let that scare you away if you don't know or don't have any experience in this industry. So,
well, speaking of that HRT too, it gives you an option to kind of see not only on the job with the rigging, getting your hands dirty, but also kind of the management side of things and where you're working in the office and you're doing that. Do you have an idea as to, I don't know if you have the data, but where do people typically go after? Because they had those like 5 or 6 options that they could go. Is there one that people typically go to?
That's a great question. This is a fairly new program. So there's only been a small handful of people that have actually completed this program. One of them is project manager, started in Lynchburg, moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and is now running big projects for that branch as a project manager. So that's kind of been one route. But again, the plan is to launch you into what you're good at and where there's a need. So there isn't necessarily good data that I could give you on where most people go, but we've seen it happen a few times with the project management role. But we want that to expand and grow to where people are good. So
that's an awesome opportunity because you're getting paid and you get to explore different jobs really throughout that whole program. That's awesome. Now, do you guys require a driver's license for your employees, and do they have to undergo drug testing?
Yeah, there are some pre-employment requirements. I don't know all the exact details, but I do believe those two are required to be employed.
Yep. Okay.
Yes, and you will be out in the field working, so we also do a fit for duty test as well as part of pre-employment.
Okay, awesome. So another question I have is, Robert, you're now a manager of that branch, right? You're in charge of that branch there. You've only been there 3.5 years. Kind of tell us a little bit about your story and how you got into being the manager and being in charge. And right now you look like a pretty young guy to me. So how old are you? And just kind of tell me a little bit more about your journey into being a manager there.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Like we said before, it's definitely a growing company. So when I started 3.5 years ago, I started out in the engineering. I was the only engineer in the company at that time. And then so before that, how I started out with ProLift, they came to the career fair at Virginia Tech. That's where I graduated from, and talked with them, and really thought that the industry would be a great thing and really liked what they were doing. Every day is a different challenge. Every job is as different. So joined as an engineer. And then during my time there, I did get some project management experience, managing different jobs, got involved with a little bit of sales as well. So really good opportunity to get my hand and get knowledge on a variety of aspects of the company, and definitely the rigging industry as a whole. Really put an emphasis on getting out to as many job sites and getting exposure to as many different jobs and equipment and tools that we have as possible in as quick as period of time, and just worked out that our current branch manager moved up to a regional director, and then I came on board as a branch manager from engineering, and that's been fairly recently. So as of the first week of October. So
well, congrats.
So pretty recent, and awesome. So it's good. I've really enjoyed it. And like I said before, a firm believer if you get in what you put out. So, and Nate emphasized that we're definitely looking for hardworking people willing to learn, and you'll definitely get something out of that if you come in with that attitude.
Awesome. Well, last question, since we're wrapping up here, is what is the most interesting thing that you guys have ever moved?
To me, the most interesting is the data center piece. So there are these big, huge buildings that have tons of computers in them, across the country. So when you save a picture to the cloud on your iPhone, that's actually stored on a real computer in a real building somewhere. I didn't know all that. And we help set and move all these big, huge power units and cooling units and all this stuff that goes into making this giant computer run and store all of our data. And so we help kind of coordinate all that stuff. These big, you guys saw some of the videos, these big long boxes that set outside. And that to me is the most interesting just because of what it is. And, something we interact with every day, but don't realize is there. There's a data center probably hosting this live feed right now that we might have set the equipment for. Yeah. So who knows, but it's pretty interesting.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And I would say probably one of my favorite jobs that I was on and involved with was for Boeing up in Washington State. We were hanging overhead crane up there, and that was really cool because I think we really came up with a value-added solution for our customer. They're kind of scratching their head on how they're going to get these cranes up without interfering with production. And we were able to, kind of start with their problem and run through internally what kind of solutions we can provide for them. And we came up with a pretty cool solution. We built a custom rigging apparatus that used counterweight and kind of cantilevered the end trucks to hang those, and presenting that solution to them, and that's what won us the job. And then having a hand in building that custom piece, and then testing it, and then I was actually on site as well, so to be able to kind of get the full process of it was really cool, and we ended up with a happy customer and a successful job.
That's crazy. So you were basically using a crane to install a crane to lift their airplanes.
Yes, exactly.
That's you never think about it. It's like, yeah, that's interesting. So last question really quickly is, how likely are injuries to happen? I know you guys are injury safe, a safe company. Like, how likely are they to happen? Because it's definitely rigging and you have a lot of big things moving around.
Yeah, we definitely put a high focus on safety. We make sure that everybody going out to the field is trained and is aware of hazards. And we definitely go on safe work sites. A lot of our customers have a high regard for safety. Not saying that they don't ever happen. And that's being out there, having that awareness that it is possible and that they do happen makes you more aware, and really makes you take a step back and say, how can I do this as safe as possible? And all our guys have that mentality. And I don't want to jinx this or anything, but we have a pretty good safety record.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, thank you guys so much for your time, and any quick advice before we head on out? Career advice, that is.
I'd say wherever you go, whatever you end up doing, be very curious and learn. Just focus on learning. And being curious about whatever is happening around you, and that's going to help you grow in your career.
Awesome.
Yep. I agree with Nate. Be curious, even if it's something you aren't naturally interested in. If you kind of force yourself to be interested and take pride in it, you might become interested in it, and having taken pride in working hard in what you do, success will only follow.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks for all the feedback and all the just kind of understanding ProLift Rigging as a whole and what you guys are doing. The lifting industry is a huge opportunity, and that's really cool to understand. So if you guys are interested in learning more about ProLift Rigging, please go to qden.us, create your account there, and you'll start to see videos that they've posted, the job there as well that you can apply to, and possibly take a look at some more upcoming events that'll be happening within the QDen platform. Thanks guys for joining us.